Baltic states were quite aware of the final solution because that's where it was implemented. Only Denmark and Bulgaria did not cooperate. In every other country, locals would cooperate with the Nazis, especially Eastern Europe, which had a long history of anti-Semitism. And in some countries, local fascists would join in, Slovakia, Romania. There were some heroes. I've put a blue manila sheet on the wall near the door, citing some of the heroes. For example, Joop Westerwiel's group in the Netherlands, Zagota in Poland, Assisi Underground in Italy. But these were few and far between. The Allied countries were mostly aware. Even before World War II, the foreign correspondents reported events in Germany, Austria, Czechoslovakia. In 1942, the final solution events were leaked to the West, to the Vatican, to Switzerland, to the Polish underground. Reports by Bund in Poland, the Jewish social political organization, came to England in 1942. Jan Karski of the Polish underground met personally with Roosevelt and Sir Anthony Eden. Americans confirmed reports in 1942. They were made public in the United States and Canada, but there was a totally inadequate response. There were what they call righteous amongst the nations, thankfully. There were some in every country that was overrun with the Nazis who risked their lives to help the Jews. Yad Vashem, which is Israel's National Remembrance Authority, has recognized 10,000 so far, including Corrie ten Boom, and I believe Prince Philip's mother is buried in Israel. I believe she's regarded as a righteous Jew, or righteous Gentile. The most number were in Poland, and Netherlands had the biggest percentage of righteous Gentiles, people who risked their lives. Many others helped, but 10,000 risked their lives to help the Jews. Prior to the final solution decree, over 300,000 German and Austrian Jews managed to escape. 80,000 Polish went to Palestine, 51,000 from Europe to Argentina, Brazil, and Uruguay. 20,000, mostly German, fled to Shanghai, and 35,000 fled from Czechoslovakia. Various organizations tried to help, but the total response was really inadequate. In fact, some countries took measures to strictly limit their immigration policies, and for example, the States limited their immigrants to 153,000 a year, and England took severe measures limiting immigration to Palestine to 75,000 over 5 years. Totally inadequate help. Organizations tried but did little, even the Red Cross. Churches, Pope Pius XI gave no criticism of anti-Semitism. Pope Pius XII maintained neutrality, called for a more humane war. Church records were supplied to Nazis, and this helped them to distinguish who was Jewish. The German Catholic Church did not oppose the Nazis, although there was some rescue efforts in Hungary, Romania, Slovakia, and Turkey by papal nuncios. In Western Europe, the Catholic clergy was actively helping and rescuing Jews, but not Eastern Europe. The Protestant Church and the Eastern Orthodox Church, there was a varied response. Nazi supporters complied with the Nazis. Pastor Martin Niemöller's Confessing Church defended Messianic Jews, but did not publicly protest, except for a memorandum sent to Hitler in 1936. In occupied Europe, Denmark, France, Netherlands, Norway, local churches issued public protests. Bulgaria, Greece, Yugoslavia, the Orthodox Church leaders took steps to rescue many Jews. 2/3 of pastors went along with Hitler, and as I said before, most thought they could negotiate with him, but you cannot. Recently, they unveiled a statue in Berlin, I believe it was, of Hitler praying. This, to me, is an abomination because he certainly did not pray to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He was praying to dark forces, occult forces. Many pastors turned Jews in. They even had a Reich bishop. But with the Third Reich, Himmler, Hitler, and the SS's deep delving into the occult, Nordic and others, the cross was replaced by occult symbols, as I said. They thought they were doing a good thing, and they ended up doing something extremely evil. So all in all, the behavior of so-called Christians during World War II was bad. Jews listened to Christians singing Silent Night and other Christian hymns while they were being jammed into cattle cars in the freezing cold with no heat, no bed, no food, no water, separated from homes and loved ones, families ripped apart. Some Christians, as I said, collaborated with Nazis. Christian countries, even Canada, turned away boatloads of refugees. Countless wrongs, countless acts of omissions, anti-Semitism, self-righteous blindness. Yes, many Christians did offer amazing help here and there, but as a country, we failed to act. The world failed to act. If the church ever needed spiritual discernment, it was then. First Nations people know about suffering at the hands of so-called Christians, at the hands of governments and countries, yet nothing comes close to the suffering of the Jewish people. Today we honor our Jewish brothers and sisters here in Vancouver and in the world. We acknowledge their extreme suffering and multitude of wrongs done to them. We pay tribute to their incredible strength, resilience, and resourcefulness. Our guest today is Mrs. Renia Perel, who lost most of her family in the Holocaust, 23 people in all, including her mother and brother. She never did find out what happened to her father, her grandmother, aunts. Her husband, Morris Perel, lost 33 members. Total of 56 members of the family between the two of them. And Henya is here too, her sister. Henya, of course, lost these people as well. Renia and her sister